So here we are in this chapter, we are going to learn about managers, you as employee, as a manager in the workplace. So if we ask a question, who is a manager? And so manager is someone who coordinates and oversee the work of other people. Why? Because manager will bring all of the staff together, tell them what to do, tell them work in a team, and look out at their performance. So the manager will organize as well as they direct the staff and also control them. So what they do, they coordinate and oversee the work of other people so that organizational goals can be accomplished. So organizing your team, telling them what to do, observing them, making sure that they are going on the right direction, doing things correctly, is all for what? For accomplishing their task and achieving organizational goals. So the manager is the person that gathers all these tasks and all these people together in order to accomplish tasks and achieve goals. So as we studied before, the levels of management, if you remember in the previous chapter, the levels of management, we said that we have top managers, then middle managers, they're first line managers or operations manager. Here in this pyramid, it's also correct according to some resources. They divided the levels of management into 4 levels, which are top managers, middle managers, first line managers or operational level managers or first line supervisors, and non-managerial employees. Non-managerial employees meaning that those employees who works in the operation level without any administrative tasks or positions such as labor and work. We have top managers, middle managers. Top managers, usually they are the CEO, board of directors, general manager. These are on the top level of the organization. Then we have middle managers. Middle managers, who are they? They are marketing, such as marketing managers, HR manager, sales manager, IT manager, accounting manager. So they are head of the department or manager of the departments, of different departments in the organization. After that, we have level 3, the third one below, is first line managers, meaning who they are, the supervisors, team leaders of the employees. Okay, sometimes, for example, we have a group of employee, they have a leader or a coordinator, then there is a manager of that department, then there is top management. So first line managers, they are usually team leaders, supervisors, coordinators of a group of employees. Below that, we have non-managerial employees. Non-managerial employees are those employees who are assigned to perform non-administrative tasks, such as operational duties, logistics, such as cleaners. So they are employees who are not involved in the administrative positions, but they are in the lower level of management. This is also more definition about the different levels of managers. We have first line manager, which manage the work of non-managerial employees, as we said. Then we have middle managers. They manage the work of first line managers, so they are manager of the first line managers or first line supervisors. Then we have top managers. Top managers are those people who are responsible for making organization-wide decisions and strategic planning and organizational goals. So they will establish plans, they will establish goals, and they will establish mission and vision of the organization. So they are on the top. They are the high level of management. They are the top management of that organization. Sometimes they are the founder of the organization. Okay, so their decisions, their plans, their strategies, their philosophy, business philosophy, organization philosophy will reflect on the whole organization, will reflect on everyone inside the organization. Okay. So where do managers work? if we are seeing who is a manager, and we are saying manager is responsible for directing a group of people, organizing a group of people. So where do those managers work? Do they work at home? Do they work at the market, at bazaar? Do they work at a workplace? Of course, they work at formal and formal organizations. So they work in formal enterprises, so where they work in official places, so a deliberate arrangement of people to accomplish some specific purposes. So managers work at places that is organized, that is structurized, and there are a group of people to accomplish a certain goal, such as NGOs, such as any factory, any enterprise, any sort of companies. So this is where managers work. Now, if we talk about the characteristics of organizations, meaning that the traits of organization is a combination of three things. First, it's people, which are the labor and the worker or the employees. Then it's structure, such as the structure of the whole organization, how it's been divided and structurized, top management, then departments, then employees, the units, everything. This is the structure of the organization. Also, purpose. Purpose means goals. So, organization has three characteristics, and it's been built based on three things, which are goal or purpose, structure, how it's shaped, and the staff. Without any of these three things, it cannot be an organization. If you don't have a structure, then you are not an organization. If you don't have a purpose or goals, then you are not an organization. If you don't have people to work for you, then there is no organization. So those three characteristics are the very basic and essential parts and pillars of building and establishing an organization. Why are managers important? Why it's important to have manager in organizations? Because organization needs their managerial skills and abilities. Because if you have, for example, 50 employee, 100 employee, who can gather them, tell them what to do, organize them, tell them how to do things, how to perform, how to control them. We need a manager to do this thing. So organization need managers in order to organize the staff and accomplish tasks to achieve goals. So it's important to have managers. This is one of the importance of having managers in organizations. The second importance is managers are critical to getting things done. Without managers, critical means important, essential, okay? Without managers, things cannot be done, or they cannot be done in the correct way. Because if we make a mistake as employees, it is the manager who tells us this is wrong, do it in another way, do it in the right way. If we, for example, there are days you are being lazy, you don't want to work, or there are employees who does not want to perform their duties accordingly in meeting deadlines, there should be a manager to remind them about deadlines, to direct them how to do things, to motivate them to in order they accomplish their tasks properly. So this is another importance of managers. Another importance of having managers is they need to be there for performing the whole four functions of the organization, which are planning, which are directing, which are controlling, and then planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. They are important in the whole functions of the organization, which are four main functions. Also, they are those who motivate employees, and they are those who establish standards that later on they will evaluate the performance of the staff according to those standards. So they are important for organizations. So what do managers do? As long as they are very important, what they are doing? Management involves coordinating and overseeing the work of activities of others so that their activities are completed efficiently and effectively. So the meaning of this, as we mentioned, managers are helping their staff to do things. They are telling each one what to do. They are motivating their staff to help each other, to work together as a team in order to achieve goals. Also, they are controlling them to make sure they are doing things on the right way. So this all together is to make sure that activities are completed in a very good way, efficiently and effectively. So this is what managers do. So you heard about efficiently, effectiveness, efficiency. What's the meaning of efficiency and effectiveness? Efficiency is doing things right. So, for example, you are being told to, write a letter. Okay, you write your letter, but maybe you're writing it in a wrong way. So you did it. It's true you did it, but you didn't do it efficiently because you didn't do it in the right way. So efficiency comes when you do things in the correct way. So getting the most output from the least amount of input. So efficiency is trying to perform better with less effort. Is trying to produce more with less cost. Is trying to have better services in less time. So when you are having output means results. It's either administrative, either service for the customers, either producing products in a factory. So all of them are considered output. So output, when you have the most output with the least input can be time, money, capital, which is money, labor, effort, all of these. When you have the less input with the most output, it means that you are efficient. What about effectiveness? Effectiveness is doing the right things. So you are being told to write a letter, you write the letter. You don't write a report, okay? When you are told to prepare a presentation, you prepare a presentation. So it's doing the right things. So attaining organizational goals. So it means that achieving organizational goals. So effectiveness is doing the right things. Efficiency is doing them in the correct way. So sometimes you might do the right thing, but you might do it incorrectly, or you will do it, but you might do some mistake. But when you do it in a right way, so that means you are effective and efficient at the same time. We have this exhibit. So it says efficiency and effectiveness in management. If you notice here, we have efficiency, which is in the pink box, it's written resource usage, meaning that how much you're using resources. Resources we have studied in the previous chapter, which are human resource, capital, meaning that money, natural resources, and technology. So efficiency means using the lowest resource to have the highest result, while effectiveness, it's the end result. So it's achieving the goal. So management always wants to use the lowest resource, less money, less employee, less time, less equipment, okay, less effort. So meaning that management looks for efficiency through using low resource and reducing waste in order to achieve goals. When you achieve goals, meaning you are effective. So this is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. So management functions, I believe we studied that, but I will again introduce it. Planning, organizing, leading or directing can be the same thing, okay? And controlling. So planning is what? Is in anything, you need to have a plan. Without a plan, you cannot do things in a correct way. So in planning process, you define your goals. You say you write down what are your goals. You establish strategies to achieve those goals, meaning that you will write down how to achieve goals. So the strategies, the techniques, the methods, and developing plans to integrate and coordinate activities. So you develop your plan, you improve your plan in order to know how to start the activities in the organization. So what about organizing? Is arranging and structuring work to accomplish organizational goals. So when we have the plan, we try to organize it. So first we have the plan, then we will arrange how to divide departments, how to divide employees, how to distribute the tasks, how to assign each one and each unit to perform which kind of tasks. So in organizing, you arrange things and create a structure to the work in order to what? To again accomplish and achieve organizational goals. After you do this step, you will start to implement things and start the practical part in the organization. So here you are going to lead as a manager, or you are going to direct your employees as a manager. So leading or directing means working with and through people to accomplish goals. So meaning that you work with people and achieve goals through those people. So without people, you cannot achieve those goals. So in leading, you tell them how to do things. Okay, in organizing, you assign them. In leading, you teach them how to do it. You motivate them how to do it. You help them in order to do it. While after that, we have controlling. Controlling is the last step. So in controlling, everyone has done their work, they are performing, they are working. So in controlling, you are observing them, you are looking at them, you are monitoring them. So you compare what they do compared to what you have told them to do and how you told them or asked them to do. So you compare the performance of the employees to the standards that was established by the management, okay? And you correct their mistakes. So this is the controlling part. So through controlling, you will receive feedback. This feedback is very important and it will be used again in the planning process in order to improve the whole circle. Okay, here we have again the 4 functions of management, which are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So planning, as we said, setting goals, establishing strategies, developing plans to coordinate activities. Then organizing, determining what needs to be done, how it will be done, and who to do it. Then in leading, you motivate, you lead, you direct others, and it involves dealing and reacting with people. And controlling, you monitor the activities of those people and to make sure or to ensure that they are accomplished as it is planned. So all of these functions together, they lead to achieve the organization's goals. We have Mintzberg, managerial roles and contemporary model of management. So let's see what Mintzberg, he was a scientist, what's his thoughts about managerial roles and what he is saying. So he's saying roles are specific actions or behaviors expected of and exhibited by a manager. Meaning that when you're saying I have a role, you have a role, each one has a role, the managers have roles. So meaning that you are expected to do some stuff and behave in a certain way. So a role is what you expect from a manager to do, how to behave, what are their activities and actions. So this is role. I believe in Kurdish is also role, it's the same meaning. So Mintzberg identified 10 roles grouped around interpersonal relationships, the transfer of information, and decision making. So Mintzberg says that managers have 10 main roles. Those 10 main roles are related to the relationships and transferring information and decision making. So let's start with the roles. The first role is interpersonal roles, which involve people. People means the people that you work with. So subordinates and persons outside the organization, and other ceremonial and symbolic duties. So the role of the manager is not only dealing with the employees inside the organization, but dealing with others outside the organization, such as different parties, such as other partners of the organization, such as stakeholders, such as customers. So this is the interpersonal role of the manager. So manager is like a figure of an organization. They have to deal with people inside and outside of the organization. While the informational role came from the word information, it involved collecting information, receiving information, and disseminating information, meaning that segregating information, classifying information, translating it to a simple language, and share it with others. So here the manager collect those information. They make sure they are correct, so they are monitoring it. And sometimes they are performing a role such as a spokesperson. Sometimes a middle manager tells his or her staff what the top management told them. So they are transferring information. Or sometimes they are having a role of a spokesperson on behalf of a company. So outside the organization, they are, for example, in an exhibition, in maybe in an event, they are talking officially to some journalists on behalf of the organization, and they transfer some information to them. While the third role, decisional roles, are making decisions or choices. Of course, managers have the authority to make decisions, and they have the authority to choose. So this is another role of managers, which is decision making. So they decide how to do things. Sometimes they decide what to do. They decide how to achieve goals. They decide which employees to promote, which to hire, which to terminate. So this is the decisional role of managers. So Mintzberg managerial roles. Here we have the whole 10 roles according to the 3 categories. The first category, the purple one, which is interpersonal roles, such as figurehead, leader, liaison. These are positions, managerial positions. And the orange ones, informational roles, such as monitor, disseminator, spokesperson. And we have decisional roles, such as entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. So these are different roles of managers inside an organization. Okay. So now we talk about the management skills. So what type of skills managers need? We mentioned before that there are 3 different skills for managers, which are technical skill, humanitarian skills, and conceptual skills. So let's start with the first one, which is technical skills. So technical skill is the knowledge and the proficiency in a specific field. So maybe you are expert in networking. I mean, like to establish the network for the internet inside an organization and a building. Maybe you're expert in electricity. You're an electricity technician. Maybe you are working in a radiology. So you are a department in a hospital. So you are a technician and you are a radiologist. So it's a knowledge and a proficiency in a specific field. They are the job-specific knowledge and techniques needed to proficiently perform work tasks. So you need to learn those skills before work. Okay, sometimes you study in an institute, a vocational institute, a technical institute to learn those skills. So these skills are important for the first line managers and first line employees and non-operational employees, because they're typically dealing with the technical part in the organization and in producing products and services in organization. So this is the technical skills. Now we have human skills. It's the ability to work well with other people, both individually and in a group. So how much you are skilled to work with humans, with other people, with individuals, with managers, with employees, regardless of their level in the organization, regardless of their department in the organization. So this skill is important for all levels in organizations and for everyone in the organization, because we all need it. We deal with each other. Now I'm a teacher, you are a student, we have a dean, we have a president. We all every day communicate with each other, we work with each other, we deal with each other. So everyone needs human skills, and it's important for all the skills, for all the levels in the organization equally. Then we have conceptual skills, which is very critical and important for the top management in the organization, because it's about the ability to think, predict, and conceptualize the situations and future of that organization. Here you need to be smart, to be predictable, to analyze the situations, or let's say analyze the environment inside your organization and outside organization, in order to be able to establish smart plans and smart goals. So using these skills, managers see the organization as a whole. So you need to see everything in the organization. You need to understand the relationships. You need to understand the units and subunits in order to be able to establish and form effective plans. So these skills are mostly important for top management. This is also a picture about the importance of the skills per level of management. So if, as we see from this graph, the top managers, the conceptual skill, which is the blue one, took the biggest part, they needed the most. Then the human skill is equal for all of the levels. Technical skill is at least at the least or least amount for the top managers, and in the highest amount of the lower level of management. Okay, so now we want to know what are the importance of those managerial skills. Okay, why they are important? Because you are managing people, because you need to inspire them and make them committed to the organization instructions. Sometimes when change comes up, you as a manager, you need to be skilled to manage those change and be able to adapt to the new changes. You need to be skilled to structure the work and make sure things are done. You need to be skilled as facilitating psychological and social context of work, to understand your staff, to make sure they are happy, to make sure their needs are fulfilled, to make sure emotionally they are happy and they are okay with things that goes on inside the organization. So management is not a easy job. It needs patience, it needs continuous learning, it needs developing your skills in order to be able to perform your tasks as a manager. So you need to be good at networking. You need to be smart while you make decisions, and you need to manage strategy and innovation Also, the last importance is managing logisticity and technology. So these are all importance of the managerial skills. So managers need to have these skills in order to be good managers and to perform well. Let's move to change facing the manager. Of course, in all organizations there are changes. اوكي ساعة 12 دقيقة درسا كمان شو ما دقيقة ما تو انتو تدرج شي كينو اگر ايو تمام. So change facing managers, there are always change in the environment within your organization and outside your organization. The most common changes nowadays are technology and digitalization. So organization has shifted to technological firms. For example, now we are using technology to conduct this class. We are talking through Google Meet, so we are using e-learning system. So we are using technology. Before 10 years, there was not such thing in organizations or in universities. Okay, so this is one of the change that affected the organizations and the managers has faced it. Another change is increased emphasis on organizational and managerial ethics, meaning that ethical concerns, ethical matters in the world nowadays has changed. For example, 50 years ago, people wouldn't think about harming environment and creating pollution in the environment, but nowadays environment, pollution, nature is a very important matter, and most of the organization have they take care of this side, they concern about this matter, so they seek for sustainability, they seek for green management, they establish some standards and ethic and code of conduct in order to prevent the harm and the pollution in the environment, as well as we have other ethical matters such as community, caring about your people, respecting cultures, respecting diversity. So these are all ethical matters that are with a big matter and big impact nowadays on organizations. Well, increasing competitiveness is another change. Before 100 years, okay, 1 century before, there were very few number of firms and enterprises or factories, but now there are thousands and thousands and thousands of organizations, of factories, of NGOs, of kind of productions. So now organizations are in a very, very competitive environment. For example, let's bring Suleimania City as an example. There are more than 10 universities for a small city like Suleimania. Maybe there are 15 universities and institutions, even more. So the number of the population in Suleimania City is not that big compared to the number of the universities and institutes that there are in the city. So the competition between universities and institutions are very high. They are competing. So the competition among each industry, each organization is very high, and it made organization to change and be affected by this change and try to be more productive, more globalized, more innovative in order to stay in that competitive market. The last change is changing security threats. Of course, there are always threats on organizations. Maybe before there were threats of some, for example, having a fire in the factory, of having a threat or robbery. But now there are a lot of other threats, such as technological threats. For example, hacking and you are afraid from some hack of the systems, some other risk management, such as economical situations, unstable political situations of a country that affects every organization and every business in a geographical area or in a region. Now we are facing that here because of the conflicts and the war between Iran, Israel, and America. We in Iraq here, we are in the middle of these conflicts, and we are affected by those conflicts and unstable political situations. So it affects all the businesses and the economy of the region. So these are all change in the security threats. Now, if we move to how manager's job is changing. So manager's job, of course, it will change from time to time, from a decade to another, accordingly with the changes in the environment and in businesses. So we have first a focus on customer. So if you heard about a quote in marketing which says that customers are always right. This means that organizations, businesses, they need to pay the biggest attention to customers, because by end of the day, you cannot work and produce without having customers, because by end of the day, each organization sells their products and services to customers. So you need to have a very big focus on customers. Without customers, more organization would cease to exist. They will not be there. They will vanish. They will disappear. They will lose, okay? Or maybe go bankruptcy. So managing customer relationship is responsibility of all managers and employees. So all the employees and all managers in an organization are responsible to manage a good relationship with their customers. So they need to be consistent. They need to deliver a high quality product and services and listen to their feedback. We have another category which is focused on technology. So it's very important for managers to learn about new technology. You cannot be a manager in today's world without knowing how to use a computer, without knowing what is AI, without knowing how to use smart devices, to use some administrative or the related softwares to your department. So technology has been changing and it's always developing. Now it's not only technology, but it's AI. So it's important for the managers and employees to learn this technology and to know how to use it. So managers must oversee the social interactions and challenges involving in using collaborative technology, and sometimes human interactions is being replaced with the technological interactions, such as now we are not having face-to-face classes, but we are having a virtual class, which is online class. So we as employees in this university, we need to know how to use technology. Another focus on social media. Of course, now all people use social media. I believe there is no one without having at least one social media account. So social media it's a forms of electronic communication through which users create accounts and communicate to each other digitally or online. So they share ideas, they share information, they send personal messages and share other contents with each other. So managers need to remember that social media is a tool that needs to be managed beneficially. So all organizations, they are using social media platforms to reach out their customers easier and more effectively. So it's important to know how to use the social media, what to post on the social media, how to interact with your customers, how to be ethical and responsible toward your society and environment. So there is a quote, it says it takes 20 years to build reputation and only 5 minutes to ruin it. So you need to be very, very careful what you post and how you post and share on your social media platforms as a manager, as an individual, and as an organization as well. Then we have another focus, which is innovation. Innovation means creativity. So innovation is exploring new territory, taking risks, and doing things differently. So in innovation, you need to know how to be creative, how to do new things, how to be different. For example, if there is a new restaurant, they open, so they are very different. So they are innovative, they are creative, they might do something that is very different from other restaurants. There is a small business has opened, they are very innovative and they're attracting customers by their creativity. So this is innovation. So in this competitive environment, or in this competitive world nowadays, businesses need to be innovative and creative, managers as well, in order to what? In order to be able to compete and gain the biggest market share. We have another focus, which is on sustainability. Sustainability means how to be able to continue, to stay there, okay? So sustainability, it says a company's ability to achieve its business goals and increase long-term shareholder value, meaning that if you can achieve the goals and stay in the market for a long term, and always improve yourself and continue to improve and stay in the market and be able always to compete with others, means that you achieved sustainability. So how you can achieve these things? By integrating economic, environmental and social opportunities. So you need to know how to economically be smart and make your decisions, how to adapt to the environment, how to know and learn about society and use these opportunities for your own benefit and implement these things in your business strategy, goals and plans. So this is sustainability, how much you are able to stay in the market and continue to improve. Okay, now we have focus on employees. So focus on employee, you as a manager, it's important to know how to deal with your employees and how to treat them. So it's not only to tell them what to do, but it's also tell them how to do things and create a good environment for them at work, create a spirit of teamwork, motivate them, monitor them, correct their mistakes, help them to improve their skills. So it's important for managers to know how to treat their employees. Of course, management is important. Without knowing what is management, we cannot be effective employees, we cannot be effective management. So we study management because the reality that management is needed in all types and size of organization. So from a very small enterprise to a very big organization, we need management. We need management everywhere, in all the departments, in all areas, in all different types of industries. So it's important in order to be able to do what the four main functions, which are planning, organizing, directing, controlling. So management is important for all these things. That's why we study it. So there is a universal need for management. Universal means global, okay? So meaning that everywhere in the world, management is important and it's needed. So according to this chart, management is needed on the top of the chart, you can see the orange one, all size of organization, either they are small or large, they need management. Then in the bottom, in the pink box, all organization levels, so management is needed in all the levels. If you remember the pyramid, we need it from top to bottom. Then if we move to the box in the left side, the purple one, it says management is needed in all organizational areas, meaning that in all different types of companies, industries, organization, businesses, such as manufacturing, in all organizational areas, mean in all the different departments in the organization, such as its manufacturing departments such as marketing department, human resource department, accounting, IT, and so on. And here in the green box, we have all management is needed in all types of organizations. As we said, if they are profit organization, non-profit organization, service organization, a production organization. So management is universally needed everywhere, in all organization, in all different types, levels, sizes of organization. Any questions? So the reality of work. The reality of work is when you start to work. We study all of these things, but when you graduate and you start to work, then you face the reality. Meaning that when you begin your career, your occupation, you will either manage or be managed. Meaning that you will either be a manager, a leader, a supervisor, or you will be a employee or an individual, a worker that you will have managers. Even if you are a manager of a department, you still have top management above you, which they will manage you. So when you graduate, you will start to work, you will be either managing people or will be managed by managers. So it's important for you to know how management works. Now we have some challenges of being a manager. Of course, being a manager, being a leader is not an easy thing. As we mentioned before, you need to have some skills to be a good manager or to be able to know how to manage people. So here you will face challenges. You will face some difficulties. Sometimes it can be a thankless job. Maybe they will never thank you. They will never tell you thank you for doing this, thank you for being a manager. Okay, no one says thank you. Okay, so it's better not expect that in order not to be demotivated. Another challenge is you might be asked to perform different duties, and you always need to do or deliver clarification to your staff in order to know how they do things. This is another challenge. Another challenge is managers also spend significant amounts of time in meetings and dealing with interruptions. So you as a manager, you will consume a lot of your time. You will spend a lot of your time in meetings. You will have more meetings than the operational level of employees. And also when you are trying to work, many people or employees come to talk to you. So there are always interruptions. So being a manager, you have to expect that you need to give your job too much time, even more than your regular working hours time. This is another challenge. Another challenge is managers often have to deal with a variety of personality and have to be able to deal with that and make with limited resources. So you will study that in the next semesters in leadership as well, which you will have different type of employees. So you have to be able and know how to deal with them, because not everyone came from the same background. Each one came from a different background. Maybe if you're working in a global organization or in an international organization, there are diversity in that organization. Many people from different countries, backgrounds, culture, gender. So you as a manager, you will deal with plenty of these different personalities, and it takes more effort for you in order to learn how to deal with them and how to make them a team and motivate the teamwork spirit in them. So it's another challenge for you as a manager. But also there are rewards. Okay, there are difficulties and challenges, but also there are positive sides and rewards for being a manager. So one of the rewards is being responsible for creating a productive work environment. So your efforts will be there. Okay, you will be the one who will create a productive work environment within your department. You will be the one who motivates their team, who creates a teamwork spirit in them. So this is a reward. You will, like inside of you, you will feel positive for doing these things. You will feel positive because you created that spirit among your team member. Another reward is recognition and status in your organization and in the community. Of course, when they are telling you you are a manager, you are a team leader, you have a position, so you will have a status. You will be recognized both inside your organization and in the community, so it's a privilege. Another reward is attractive compensation in form of salaries, bonuses, and stock options. Of course, you will have a compensation, you will have better salary or bonuses, so your salary will increase. You might have bonuses, and this is another reward for being a manager. Your salary will be higher than the rest of the employees. So here, if we make a comparison between the rewards and the challenges of being a manager. Okay, so I will explain it. So we have rewards and challenges. So this is like a comparison between rewards and challenges of being a manager. So in rewards, being a manager, you create the work environment. You have the authority and ability to divide the work among the members and decide which member to perform which tasks. But the challenge is you as a manager, you have to do a lot of hard work in order to organize all these things. Then moving to the second point, as a reward, you as a manager, you have opportunities to think creativity and use imagination. So you can be more creative than your workers because you can establish plans. But in the challenge, you may have duties that are more clerical than managerial. So sometimes you have too much administrative work that it might take your time and consume your time to a level that you cannot be creative and think for the future. In the rewards, you help others find meaning and fulfillment to work, but the challenge is you have to deal with too many different personalities. It makes you to need more effort. While in rewards, you support others, you coach them, you train them. But in challenge, sometimes you have limited resources. Maybe you don't have enough resources in order to be able to support them and coach them properly, or in a way that you want to. In the reward, you work with a different of people, but the challenge is you need to always motivate them in order they stay on the right path. And you need to motivate those employees who are chaotic or they don't know what to do. So it takes a lot of effort and time from you as a manager to do this. In the reward, you receive recognition and status of the community. But in the challenge is you always need to be skilled, you always need to learn new things, you need to have experiences, you need to be able to work with diverse groups. So it's a blend of all these things together. So in the reward, you as a manager play a role in influencing the organizational outcome and you are influencing your staff. But in the challenge, success does not depend only on you, but on others' work performance. So sometimes you are doing your best, but still you are not achieving what you are expecting because things does not rely on you alone, but rely on the whole group. In the rewards, we have, as manager, receive appropriate compensation, a good salary. Your salary will be more than others. And good managers always are needed by organization. This is another reward. So here we are finished with this chapter.